Welcome, 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 dear friends, and thank you again for watching my video. And this is a particularly special one for me because I am actually going to be showing you how I work on my front cover of my angel poems, prayers, and art journal. I started this particular journal because I was inspired. I am inspired by 14th century, 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, Victorian, you name it, religious art. And I love looking at it in detail. I love looking at the masters, how they did something in particular, on how they painted it. I love that sort of, a rustic type look as well. And I love the look of old paper, old pages, you name it. But I was inspired by what's called Illuminated Prayer books, or you can call it Book of Hours. It's how they used to have their prayers in this book that they would say, and they would hire artists to actually elaborately color these pages with elaborate lettering, elaborate designs, elaborate art. And I wanted my own. And I started this art journal because of that, because I wanted my own Book of Hours. I wanted my own illuminated prayer book, but I wanted it to be inspired and filled with art, prayers that I say on a daily basis, as well as poems that I am inspired to create. And that is why I started this particular art journal. Now, I love the old look. So as you see, when I started this particular page, I filled it with tissue paper. It's going to be a mixture of mixed media. You're going to see me use a bunch of different medias. And I'm sketching out what's called the angel from the Annunciation. I only wanted the angel because this is my cover page of my art journal, angel art journal book. And I'm filling it in with a darker background because I wanted to bring in first the darker colors and then build up on top of it. I have to tell you, I love angels. I just love angels. I love the look of the male-female version of angels because they are one in the same, and that's what I wanted to do here. But I wanted something in that cover. I originally had a different cover page on here, but me being the clumsy person that I am, I went back to that page to kind of sharpen it up a little bit. And what I did was I put my arm on it while it was still wet and I smeared it. And I was so upset with myself because I really loved my original cover page. So what I did was I just went through and I gessoed the whole page a couple times so I can redo this page. And then I was looking for inspiration and I looked through Pinterest and I found this particular angel. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it with this angel. And I kind of reimagined it a little bit here and there. But this is what you see me doing. I'm just going through, trying to build up on what I am seeing, what I'm envisioning. So I'm looking at two different areas. I have my iPad above there with the image of this particular angel. I love the old world look of this angel, and that's what I was looking for this cover page, to keep my book with that old world look. Look, I am not looking to, copy it in an exact image, but put my own flair into this, and that's what I want. That is what I'm inspired by. And I'm just filling it in. I have to tell you, this angel did give me a little bit of a hard time because I'm not the best with hands. I'm not the best with faces. But again, I had to remind myself that I'm not looking for detail. I'm looking for that more rustic, illuminated type look. And that's what I wanted with this. So you can see the face is going to go through some changes here. And then also I wanted to add the shadows correctly on the draping of the fabric. So you'll see that I'm working with different types of media, from permanent markers to my pencils, just trying to get that look in there to show the draping of the fabric. And then you'll see that I'm jumping here and there from the face to the wings to the draping of the fabric to the ribbon that goes up. As you see that I'm working there, I'm just kind of filling that in again. And I will hop back and forth, back and forth. But you know, if I was to actually buy an authentic book of hours, you can find them on eBay. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. I have to tell you, it would cost quite a bit of money, thousands of dollars. And then you can also buy recreated book of hours or a republished book of hours. But again, I wanted my own. I wanted to put my own spin on it because, again, I wanted to include some poems. When I meditate, I'm inspired sometimes by things that are drawn to me, that just come to me, and I will create my poetry from that relaxation point that I'm at. It just comes to me. Or if I'm driving, sometimes driving when everything is quiet, things come to me, and I will recreate my poems that way. And then there are certain prayers that I really like to say, and I like to include them, and I will be including them, and I have included them in my own angel art journal. Now I'm back to the body again. Again, I'm just working on the fabric. I wanted to get that red to be really red, because one of the things with these illuminated prayers and these book of hours is the brightness of the colors. I mean, you get the greenest of greens, the reddest of reds, the orange, the yellows. They're not muted. They are actually pop in your face, bright colors. And that's what I want for this book as well, to show those colors. And you see that I'm working on more of that draping, more of the highlights on the fabric, the robe that this particular angel is wearing. And I have to tell you, inspired. This angel has inspired me. Angel wings inspire me. And you'll see that I'll go back and forth on the wings just to give it more detail. I have to tell you, I am in love with this page. I love the look of it. I love how the background has that crumbled, leathery, parchment paper type look. To me, it's a juicy page, and I love it. I want you to enjoy watching this process as this image comes to life on my page. Just enjoy watching it. I have to tell you, I'm very much inspired, and I plan on more brighter type pages within this art journal. I'm working on handmade paper. I bought this particular book because of its old world look and its handmade pages of paper. But I am really, kind of sturdying up these pages. The page I'm working on is actually gessoed, and I also glued 2 pages together, so it gives it that firmer look, because handmade paper, as you're painting on it, if you're not protecting those pages, anything you put on it is just kind of going to go soak through, and I didn't want to ruin my image because of it. So I'm just working on it. I want you to enjoy the process. I'm working on those wings. I really want to make those wings pop, but again, I don't want to work on it so much that I'm adding so much detail. I want the look of the wings, but I don't want all those details. I am planning on going back and working on the wings just a little bit more, but right now, as you see, as I go through the process, what has come is there. And then also, you know, that face really has me. I had a darker face on there, and then what I did was I just lightened it all up and went back and tried to fix my face a little bit more. I just wasn't happy with it. But it's a darker face, and then I go back and I lighten it because it is my nemesis right now. I'm a little bit frustrated. I actually put this book down a little bit for a few days and then went back to it and I said, okay, I'm gonna work on this face. And I just wanted, just the look on it that I just wasn't able to achieve. And then the hair, I wanted darker hair, so I darkened the hair a little bit. But I was ultimately very satisfied with the face. I didn't want to touch it anymore because I felt it had the look that I was looking for. The face, I'm still working on that face. I'm still working to get that look that I want. Wow, I have to tell you, it just took a little bit of time. I could probably spend a little bit more time on it, but as I mentioned, I really liked what the end result was of the face. Again, I didn't want to add too much detail because of the surface I was working on. By adding that tissue paper, it wasn't giving me the smoothest surface, and that's why I was having such big issues with the face, and that's why the results that I ultimately received and accomplished on this page was fine by me, because then I would lose the quality of what I already had achieved at that point. But yes, you'll see I am working on that face. And then I start working on the hands. Again, hands are my nemesis, and you'll see, and I noticed this at the end, but I'm gonna tell you now. I moved the hand up a little bit further with the pointing of the finger, which means that it should have been lower, and I didn't pick up on this, but I'm gonna go back and adjust this a little bit because it's off. You'll see that where the wrist should have come out, it's a little bit further up. So it's throwing off that whole draping of the fabric on that arm piece. And I am going to go back and fix that because I didn't notice until it was completely done. And I had started, editing my video and looking at my picture a little bit more detail. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Look what I did. But I'm going back to fix that because there is a way to fix it. I just moved it up because I didn't like the position of it to begin with. where I had it. And then I'm working on the foot. There's a little bit of the foot poking out on the bottom that I'm working on. Again, trying to get the skin tone and the shadows to all match up properly. I'm going back to that face again. That face, you can see me back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the face. And that's what I'm working on. I hope you really enjoy this. It's just a process, watching me go through this process from the beginning to the final result. And oh yes, I can't wait. I'm inspired to do more and more pages. Wait till you see what I have coming. I have so many ideas for this book. I just can't wait till it is full and complete and I can lay it somewhere and just look through it every now and then, just to kind of say, okay, Marilyn, you have your own book of hours, and not just a traditional book of hours, but a Marilyn version book of hours. Okay, this is the most exciting part. Oh, I love this part. I am working with gold foil. I have to tell you, I've had this gold foil for years, literally years, in my art arsenal or my art supplies. And I was inspired to use it. Originally, the original Angel of the Annunciation doesn't have all this gold around the outside like a halo. But I wanted to add it to this particular page because I thought it needed it. And I was dying to use my gold foil since I found it. And I said, you know what, I'm going to use it. So I brought it out. And here I am. I'm using it. I have it around its head, outshining it like the halo that it should have, because every angel needs to have an halo. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that halo, that gold look. And, I was trying to figure out how am I going to use this. So I used some gel medium on there, and then I let it dry a little bit. And then I have this brush, dry brushed it off. There was some gaps in it, so I try to use it, whatever I had that I brushed off on it, because you got to save, you can't waste. And then I sprinkled some along the pages as well. Like I said, this page, even though I'm calling it finished, it really is not finished. I'm going to go back and fix that hand, that pointed finger, fix that particular area. I'm not going to touch the face again. I may work on the wings maybe a little bit more. That's about it. But I am calling it done for now, and then I'll work on it little by little, because that's what happens. You look at something and say, okay, I need to go back and fix that. But that's the way life is. You can, if you make a bad choice, you can go back and think about it and say, you know what, going forward, this is a different choice I'm going to make, and kind of correct your mistakes along the way. At least that's how I feel. And here it is, Marilyn's Angels, Poems, Prayer, and Art Journal. My very, very own book of hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you.